Hi and welcome. My name is Danielle Arsenault. I am a holistic wellness educator, raw food chef, and gut health expert. For the last 15 years through my business, Pachavega, I've been guiding people on the path of healing through whole living foods and holistic lifestyle practices. At the heart of it all is one simple truth. Food is the foundation, but healing is holistic. So I'm really genuinely excited to be walking this journey with you because what you're stepping into is more than just a detox protocol. It's an expansive, empowering, and just incredible program designed for real transformation from the inside out. So this first month with me is all about grounding and gently detoxifying. The recipes I'm sharing with you are simple on purpose because detox doesn't have to be extreme. It can be nourishing, supportive, and totally doable for anybody. In fact, the number one predictor of successful detox is hydration. So that's why we're starting with 2 powerful drinks to kickstart your digestion and cellular healing. And then we'll move into a vibrant salad where the dressing is next level. Finally, finishing it all with the deeply grounding mung bean dal, which is one of my favorite comfort foods for strength and soothing the gut. Let's get started. I hope you're excited. Hi, well, here I am in my kitchen in Nicaragua. I live here on this beautiful, incredible, magical, enchanted island, and I'm gonna be making a green beauty smoothie with you. Now, this is a detoxifying smoothie, but also filling, also delicious, and I'm hoping to give as many tips and tricks as I can in this video. All right, so let's start with pineapple and banana. So 2 incredible tropical fruits. Now, the pineapple itself is very detoxifying. It has a lot of enzymes, and the middle of the pineapple, which most people throw out, is actually the most nutritious part. So we're going to use the middle of the pineapple, and I hope that you always now use the middle of the pineapple. Save it for smoothies. You can use in tapache, which I'm also going to show you how to make. Just throw it all in there. Okay, we're gonna go with 3 bananas. So bananas, they look like a smile, and they are actually really good to help boost your mood. So if you are feeling blue, grab yourself a few bananas. All right, so for the star of this smoothie, now I hope that when you watch this video, after this video, you never make a smoothie without greens again. This is the easiest way to get greens into your diet, raw, living greens, without having to chew for so long. So this is kale. What I like to do is grab it by the stem and pull. Dogs love these, don't throw them out. The next thing we're gonna add are oats. Now these are organic rolled oats. So we're going to add those. They also add like a thickness to the smoothie. They give it the smoothie more substance, and so it keeps you fuller longer. Okay, and on the same vein, we're going to add flax seed, not this much, just a spoonful. But flax is really good for digestion. It has omega-3 fatty acids in it, especially when it's blended. It's one of the most utilized seeds all over the world, and it has a massive, deep history. So try to include flaxseed in your diet on a regular basis if you don't already. You can throw it into a smoothie the easiest way, but you can also put it on salads. You can put it in soups. You can make crackers. The next thing we're going to add is, for a little touch of extra sweetness, are dates. And these dates have been soaked, so they're smoother, so that they will blend easier. Dates also have a lot of fiber and iron. A squeeze of lime. Pretty much every single recipe has lime in it, I think. Lime is very alkalinizing, so it can really help balance your pH, including lime and cucumber water in the morning. Just make sure you rinse out your mouth with regular water because the acid in the lime in your mouth can erode the teeth if you're drinking lemon water all the time or lime water. Another thing is that it's acid outside the body, but when you consume it, what leaves behind is an alkaline residue. So it's actually an alkaline forming fruit. We're going to add a little tiny bit of turmeric. So if you haven't seen before, just show you here, this is turmeric root, and I grow it here in my garden. And we're going to add that for anti-inflammatory action. But the thing is, without black pepper, turmeric, we don't actually absorb the anti-inflammatory compound so much, which is curcumin. So pepperin, which is in black pepper, helps our body absorb the curcuma something like 2,000% more. And you don't need a lot of it. So it doesn't need to taste like pepper, or it doesn't need to be spicy. Okay, and then one other thing I'm gonna add is maca. Maca is incredible for stress relief. Okay, it works on the hormones, it helps balance the hormones. It's really good for your adrenal glands, and it's known as an adaptogen, which is known to help balance our body. It's a root that comes from Peru originally. And as with everything, if once you get to know me, I'm always going to say, look at the backstory. So it's, where does this come from? What company is producing it? Who made it? How many steps did it take to get to you? So this is always something that's good to keep in mind when you're purchasing food. All right, and then the next thing that we need is water to blend it all up. You're also welcome to use plant milk of any sort, so an almond milk or coconut milk. One thing that you probably notice is that nothing here is frozen. So I've frozen nothing. Nothing is cold, and that's really important because when we drink really cold, like frozen smoothies, it actually can halt our digestive system and really slow it down. In order to keep our digestion moving and to help detoxify the body, we want to drink room temperature smoothies. If you can't stand room temperature, like slightly cool is all right, but not frozen. Okay, let's blend. Okay, so that's a lot of smoothie, right? That's how much you want to drink. Seriously, we're not talking about a cup like this of smoothie. We're talking about this much smoothie in a day. So this is your detox smoothie. If you can't drink it all in one sitting, you can space it out for a couple hours. Let's try this. All right, so as you can see, this recipe makes double. Okay, so there's a whole other batch. So this is a double batch. So if you have someone else living in the house, you guys can share. But I do recommend drinking a full liter of smoothie. Cheers. Mm. One thing that can help your digestion and help you detoxify is by swishing around anything that you're eating, chewing it long, and swishing around your smoothies, your juices in your mouth to mix the salivary amylase. So it helps start to break down the food in your mouth and digest in your mouth. So by the time it hits your stomach, it's already digesting. Let's move on to the next recipe. So I'm really excited to share this liver-loving salad with you. All the ingredients are going to be very detoxifying. Some of them actually pull and chelate heavy metals from the body. Parsley does that. And then it's so delicious because it's balanced. So this is really important, is to flavor balance your food. And the dressing we're gonna make is next level. It's my favorite. It's a dreamy tahini dressing. So we start with a salad. In a bowl, you can just grab some handfuls of arugula. So arugula are bitter greens. They help stimulate bile production and help detoxify the liver. Get those crunchy bits too. And this salad, don't forget to chew. It's going to be a chew fest for sure. Some parsley, and as mentioned, it's really good for chelating heavy metals. So what that means is it attaches to the heavy metal and removes them from the body when you go to the bathroom. So really, really good. Cilantro does the same. So if you're not a big cilantro fan, try to get a lot of parsley in your diet. So once a week, eat some parsley. You don't want to use the stems because they're quite bitter, which is funny because I just mentioned how bitter is actually good for the liver. They're too bitter. How about that? Too bitter. Arugula is bitter, but it's not too bitter. Does that make sense? Just rip it up. Alternatively, you can chop it up really fine. Another thing is that I have here is fresh greens from my garden, so wild greens. These so happen to be spinach and bertolaga, known as purslane. So spinach and purslane. You can add all kinds of other wild greens, including dandelion. You might have dandelion where you're at. The dandelion is a really good bitter herb, but because it's so bitter, you want to just sprinkle it in there and then mix it with all the other things to balance the flavor. Okay, I want to add some green onion. And then to add some color to it, we can add beetroot, so shredded beet. I really do like raw beets. They're very, very good for the blood, helping cleanse the blood. So beetroot, and then some sliced radishes. Again, great for bile production and supporting the liver. You can add these into the salad, but if you want to make the salad really pretty, you can just decorate them on the top afterwards. I'm going to save them for that. Okay, then the next thing is avocado. So some cubed avocado, and the same thing, the same idea is that we put it on at the end to make it look beautiful. That's it for the salad. Now let's get to the dressing. All right, let's get this sauce going. So my favorite nut butter, seed butter by far is tahini. It is super full of calcium and it is a staple in my diet. So that is the base of this amazing sauce. We're also gonna use water to thin. We have apple cider vinegar, lime, salt, and nutritional yeast. We are going to be blending them all in a high-speed blender. So let's start with a little bit of water. And I do this because I don't want the tahini too much to stick to the bottom. Tahini, apple cider vinegar. So this is also very high in probiotics because it's the apple cider vinegar with the mother. And you want to look on the label that it says organic and raw. Lime juice. Okay, some salt. You have the exact measurements in the recipe. I'm a professional, so I'm just going to wing it. This is raw organic honey from my friend's farm that's literally 500 meters from here. So if you're going to use honey, look at the backstory. Who's producing it? Where does it come from? What do they do with their bees? What is their attitude towards the bees? Otherwise, maple syrup or agave will work as well. Some nutritional yeast. So this adds a little bit of a cheesy flavor and also some vitamins and minerals. Okay, just a little bit more water. And let's blend. All right. Number one thing, you need to taste it. Mm. 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 So good. I love it. It's going to be incredible on the salad. If you want to look at the consistency. Okay. Less water, it will be thicker. More water, it will be thinner. All right, in the salad goes the dressing. I think that's a really important point, is like sometimes people put too little dressing and you need a lot. It's really all about the sauce. I can't wait to eat this. I can't wait for you to eat it. In the bowl, we top with our cubed avocado and some radishes. And now one really special ingredient, it's toasted sesame. I love this because, well, I used to live in South Korea, and so it brings me right back there. But also it adds such a pop of flavor when you get a bite of it. And it's, again, really high in calcium. So I'm using black sesame for contrast. You can also use white sesame. That's it. That is your liver-loving salad with this incredible tahini dressing. Definitely don't forget to chew. Mm. Mm. Now we're gonna make a mung bean dal. Now this is my own creation, so it's not traditional like a traditional dal you would find in India because I've added celery. However, it is so delicious and you can add all kinds of other spices, adaptogens, medicinal mushrooms. These types of things we're gonna be looking at in the 12 months to come. So let's start by turning on the stove. I would recommend for kitchen utensils either using wood, this is teak, or stainless steel. Silicone is iffy, but definitely don't use any plastic. And for your pan, this is an enameled cast iron. So it's one of the best pans to use as far as cooking. We're gonna start with a little bit of olive oil. I minimally use oil in my kitchen. Calorie for calorie, oils have a lot of calorie. They don't have any fiber. And really, the standard American diet is already loaded with oils. So I try to cook with a lot less oil than most people do. First, we want to get that oil a little bit hot. And then we're going to add turmeric, ginger, and garlic. I'm going to keep this going until it's nice and fragrant. Then you're going to add your spices. Okay, so these are whole spice seeds. These are cumin seeds and coriander seeds. And a little bit of black pepper. Then you're gonna add your onions, your carrot, and your celery. So technically these three things, when you put them together, they're called a mirepoix. This is a traditional classic French flavor profile. Okay, now right in the moment before it starts to burn, I like to add a little bit of water, cover it, and steam the veggies. While the stew is going behind me, I am going to make a refreshing cucumber mint cooler, which also has lime juice in it. So if you don't have a juicer, a really easy way is to use your blender and then to get a nut milk bag. And so this will strain out the pulp and the fiber. Yes, fiber is good and maybe you want to keep it in, but for a more watery juice-like experience, you can use that. It's very easy and very affordable. So while I'm sharing all these recipes with you, I'm also trying to infuse some kitchen hacks and tips and things. So with herbs and mint and vegetables that have stems, you can grab them at the top and then like gently pull backwards and the leaves just pop right off. The next thing we're going to add is cucumber, and again, you can do as much as you want for however much you want to drink. This isn't really a recipe per se. You don't need exact quantities. So let's just cut these up a little smaller, even though this high-speed blender is absolutely amazing. And then we're going to squeeze 2 limes. Whoa, my cat scratched me this morning. That stings. Okay, and then we're going to add water. Blend and strain. Okay. This is actually what I used to do before I had a juicer when I was just starting out eating raw. And then just... So one downside with this is that it oxidizes a bit, so you really do want to drink it right away. You don't want to save it for too long. And the reason that is because when you use the blender, it pumps some oxygen into the juice. Yeah, and look, almost nothing. Now you're going to pour it. So delicious. So it's not sweet at all. But if you wanted it a little sweet, you could add honey. However, if you're doing a detox and on the detox protocol, don't add any sweetener. Just drink it as is. It's light, it's refreshing, it's incredible. Now, I did say before about not having your smoothies very cold. Same applies. You don't really want to eat anything super cold because it's not good for your digestion. It slows your digestion, and we don't want to slow our digestion. We want to keep it normal or speed it up slightly, perhaps. So this is the most delicious drink. Drink this whole thing today. Cheers. Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. So it's been about 20 minutes and we're going to check on our stew. I can already see that it needs a little bit more water. That's totally fine. That's what we want. We want all the water to be absorbed, and then we want to add a little bit more until everything's cooked perfectly. Okay, so yeah, I can tell just by touching it with my spatula. The potatoes and the carrots are still a little hard, so I'm going to add a little bit more water till everything's perfectly cooked. Just really add a little bit at first. You don't want to add too much because you don't, well, actually, no, I take that back. Maybe you do want it to be a soup. You could do it either way. So you have another option. You can cover it, and this will keep it all in. It'll cook it a little bit faster as well. Great. Come back in like 5 minutes and check it. So you want to check for doneness with a fork. Just check and see if the potatoes are done and the carrots are done. And then you can eat like a mung bean, chew it. If it's nice and soft, it's ready. It's ready. All right, so I'm going to plate it up and show you what it looks like when it's done.